Bye. Hello, maybe this will show up. But what if we're talking this loud? Okay, this should be good.
go ahead and
You
get
don't know.
started?
Yeah, hit it. I'm gonna.
No, you're fine. I figured I'd pop over here for a little bit, and I'll pop back over to Scouts BSA.
For
And
those who haven't met me, I'm Tim Davies. I'm not the program chair anymore, but I'm still the program chair. So,
Funny how that works. Isn't
yeah, it's funny when it's your 9th year of a 3-year commitment. So anyway, Cub Scout Day Camp coming up in June 4th and 5th. We're going to have, it's dinos is the theme. So we're going to have hopefully a lot of prehistoric, not old games and activities, but just to go with the theme. The sign up that you'll see, it's basically for all the entire council. We're not going to charge for parents, so they'll be rebated the money on the day they get there. This is really, and you'll get this same flyer, I'll probably email it. I was hoping for a bigger crowd, but I knew this time of year it gets pretty thin. What we're trying to do is we want a 1-to-8 ratio, and these activities are really geared towards dens and the packs as a whole and not registering individually. So when you go back to your units, you kind of play up that you want your whole den to come, or to register if you have multiple kids or scouts, register as a group. I'm not sure how the registration is going to be. Ours is different from the other districts is that we're free for the adults. And we're not looking for an adult to do both days. You could have 4 different adults, a morning, afternoon. They don't have to be trained, but they have to have YPT or whatever it's called. Right?
safeguarding.
Yeah. And that's good for 2 or 3 years. And if you ever do any camp outs or anything, all your parents have to have that.
Do they have to be a registered adult leader with
No.
the pack?
No.
They just have to have the YPT training.
Yeah. The other thing is that we're having, we've started a new range and target activities committee. It's formerly called shooting sports, but we can't say shooting. We have a program that I started about 3 years ago. It's called Home on the Range. And it was really a Cub Scout program in December every year. And we're not having it this year. We're going to start fresh in January. But we're going to have a district-wide Cub Scout championship, shooting sport, range, RATA, I'll just call it RATA, archery and wrist rockets. And there'll be trophies for first, second, third in each rank and overall. And so we're trying to really shake it up and do things differently, but I just want to emphasize that when you sign up as an adult, you're going to be free eventually when you show up. But and then I think this year we're going to have the opportunity to drop off all of the med forms and everything in advance and get everybody signed up, where when you just come in, you just give us the names and you go and do the pre-event fun and games, which is the Gaga pits and stuff like that. So I just wanted to get this out. I'll be sending it out. The location is going to be somewhere in Highlands Ranch, hopefully on the eastern part. Most of the we'd done these at one of the south suburban parks, but we did not have the opportunity to have an indoor place in case of inclement weather. So last year we had it at Crest Hill, and that worked really, really well. We didn't have any bad weather, and most of the middle schools are closed entirely over the summer for construction of whatnot. So we're looking at I forget if it's Wildcat something middle school, and it's it's east of Quebec and about a mile south of Lincoln. And so it's has an area, big yard that we'll be able to set up the RATA activities and any other outdoor activities and stuff. And so if you have any questions, hopefully after the first of the year they'll be up and running. I've been arguing to have a separate sign up so we could open it up now, where we're going to have it, and we know pretty much the activities we're going to have, but we have a global council registration that won't go up until probably February. We just want to get out and make sure that we're not charging for the adults to come out. Up until 2 years ago, we had a large number of adults coming. We don't want to have, and it's dropped off quite a bit because they have what's called walking leaders. in the registration, and no one would sign up to be a walking leader. They would just drop their kids off, and we just want to have some more parental participation. And the reason why we don't want, we want all the kids to come, but we'd like to have somebody who knows them in case there's something from the standpoint of behavioral or social differences, not issues, differences, and that they're there with somebody, other kids that they know. Because we had one group, it was 10 different scouts from 10 different packs, didn't know them, and the person who signed up, the lone adult signed up by mistake to be the walking leader, and so they were hoping to spend the whole time with their son and didn't get that opportunity. But I think having the parents come out, it'll be fun for them. Oh, and they also get a special hat with the logo. It's a white hat with the logo on it. So we're just trying to throw anything out there we possibly can to prompt the parents to come out even for 4 hours. Make it easier.
Can you sign up for 1 day and not 2 days? So we leave for our June camp out on the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
But could we promote just the 4th as a pack?
Yeah, you can come just one for 1 day. You'll pay the full amount.
Sure.
To put this in perspective, I've looked at what they charge at other councils, and it's as much as $225, $250 for a 2 to 3 day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 25 or 30 for the initial, and it used to be 65. So it's dirt cheap what we do. So paying the 25 to 20 day would be, is still a bargain.
Okay.
So, but once we know that, we'll be able to figure out the rotations a lot more for the next day.
Okay.
So it's, but no, that's great. So if you have any questions, yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I just have one more. If, as a pack, if we end up having to, like, perhaps merge dens in order to have like a group together, like we maybe get, all of our kids together, it's okay if we have a mix of kids.
Oh yeah, no, everything is going to be, we're going to do some advancement work, and so we'll have at each location, we'll have something that pertains to each of the ranks, hopefully, in that group.
Okay.
So, but that's, if you registered separately, you'll all be put into one rotation. Unless there's so many of you, we have to put you piggybacking. We'll have 8 groups, and if we get really large, we may have 2 groups of 8 that do rotations, the same activities, where we have to split them apart because there's just so many. I'd like to have that problem. So, but if everybody registers individually, they'll still end up in the same group. So, and we'll probably call them after each group will have their own dinosaur name, I'm sure.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
All right. That sounds great.
So you'll get the same thing, except there will be a contact you can email. I'm not sure if Dustin Hubbard if he wants to get emails directly, he's the actual director. I'm just the program guy. And so, but just I wanted to get this out there. In January, we'll have a lot more information. It's kind of priming the pump.
Rock and roll.
Good.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
Well, hopefully, we always have a lot of fun. We're trying to get a location where we can shoot BBs.
Yeah.
And that's always a challenge, because the places that we could have done 10 years ago, well, they're developed. Because just from here to Colorado Springs now, it's like wall-to-wall.
Yeah.
And almost here to BV is wall-to-wall people. When you have
the driveway isn't quite as peaceful as it used to be.
Yeah. So anyway, well, thank you guys very much. You have a great evening, and I'll be talking to you.
Yes, that's fine. Tim, can you send me the PDF version of this?
Yeah. I'll just send it to both of you guys.
That'd be
And
fantastic.
it's I'm Tim.
Oh,
Nice to
Marie,
meet you.
nice
We'll
to
be
meet
talking
you.
to you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you,
Guys,
Tim.
have a great evening. See ya.
All right. So, back again. So what I had on tap tonight was to talk about indoor overnight opportunities.
Tomorrow. We're doing tomorrow.
Nice. Where are you guys going?
We'll be at New Hope Presbyterian
Oh,
in
nice, okay.
Gaswalk, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
101 people will be there.
That's a lot.
It's gonna be insane.
We're doing Cave of the Winds in February.
We talked about it. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how it is.
Yeah, I've heard really good things from groups that I've talked to that have gone.
What's the overhead on it?
70 per person.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so I don't think they feed us, but they did say that we could like bring our camp chefs and set them up outside, and then like, you know, we'll probably do a burgers for dinner thing for anybody who wants to be there. And then, you know, that's just like an extra $5 to cover the food or whatever. But that's kind of the plan is for that to do that one this year. So
Yeah, we're doing the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
oh, that's
Okay,
a good
y'all
one.
are gonna have to seriously tell me what days you're going, because that is my neck of the woods, legitimately.
Yeah.
I live
so,
on the west side of Colorado.
Oh, that's awesome.
So.
So yeah, so we did Cheyenne Mountain Zoo 2 years ago and had a great time. I think that's pretty comparable, like $70 per night. I think is
Yeah,
fairly.
it's like, well, I think it's gonna, because it's like 80, they're charging us like 80 something.
Oh, are they? Well, they feed you too. Like you get
you get
pizza and you get s'mores, and I think they do a continental breakfast.
Yeah,
So like
that
there's.
kind of stuff.
I like a movie.
And well, and it kind of balances out too, because like the adults are much cheaper.
Oh yeah,
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 because
yeah.
they're only like 50 some bucks.
Yeah, that was a good one though. That's a good one for the whole pack, which that's a challenge. Denver Museum of Nature and Science will do overnights, but only for 3rd grade and above.
Yeah.
And they've got some rules about like limiting the number of adults you can have. So it's not like we usually, I mean, even for my regular den meetings, but like especially for our overnights, like every kid's got a parent there. Some kids have 2 parents there. So like our ratio of adults to kids is way closer than what they're used to for school groups, which is like 1 chaperone per 10 kids or something like that. So if you wanted to do Denver Museum of Nature and Science, I think you'd have to figure out what that would look like, make it a,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we looked at, I automatically ruled that out because I wouldn't want to have to sit there and tell my lions and tigers that they couldn't come.
That's
That's
a big
rough.
thing for
Yeah,
me
that'd be
too.
You know?
rough.
Yeah.
I would just,
I mean, you're trying to promote,
Yeah.
large dens and like, but you can't go.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Not
mean,
bad.
I just know like some of the kids, and then, you know, like someone would come up to me and, why can't I come?
That's rough.
You know?
So that's what we had originally heard that from Cave of the Winds when I talked to them a couple of years ago. They had originally said like nobody under 7. But then my friend Silas with 545 said that they did there and brought the whole pack and had a great time. And so then when I called them back again, they were like, yeah, you can. I think some of it is like, there's like official rules where like DMNS, I think, is like official rules because they're used to school groups. And so they've got like actual stuff. But then when I was talking with Cave of the Winds, a lot of it was like, well, we think they might get cold. I'm like, that's a problem we can solve. Is there a rule, or is it just you think they might get cold and we need to bring extra sleeping bags?
Right.
So like then when we talked to them the second time, it was more like, okay, it was just they thought they might get cold because they thought, it was like this whole chain of things where it was like, well, we think they'll get scared of the dark in the cave, so then we think they'll move to the thing, and then that thing isn't heated and it's cold. And it's like a chain of assumptions here that like I feel like we could solve several of these things.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was much better when I talked to them again after having like they had a recent Cub Scout, like a large Cub Scout pack visit that may have, convinced them like, oh hey, this is feasible. So,
Enough s'mores and hot chocolate, they'll be fine.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like
sugar them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it'd be
fine.
good.
It'll be
Fine.
they'll be sweating in those sleeping bags.
Great.
So the other one that we've done that I think we're going to do next year again is Denver Aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one too. We had a lot of fun. They had a limitation on how many people we could bring. I think that one was like 40.
Like 40
40 total people. Yeah. Which even at that point, I think we like kind of pushed their numbers on that. But that was still like,
Right.
so I think that's one of those, if you're a larger pack and you have a bunch of people who want to go, you probably have to do it twice or something, like split it up into 2 different visits or something like that to get it all the way done.
And was that overnight as well?
Yeah, that's the overnight. It was cool though, because you got to go behind the scenes when the kids laid out their sleeping bags. Like there's this like big glass wall of sharks, and like the kids are in there, and then there's like these big glass panels in the floor, and there's sharks swimming underneath them, and the kids like have their sleeping
Way
bags.
cool.
I want to
It was super cool. And
That's
then
awesome.
Actually, I feel like we need team building.
that sounds
I
great.
felt this in my soul.
And then there's like a tunnel, like a glass tunnel that has coral and fish like all the way up and over,
yeah.
and the kids are sleeping like in that
That's
tunnel.
so rad.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
I'm
And
gonna be sick
then
tomorrow. I know I'm doing it.
and then you get to do like you show up pretty much when they're closed. They do like a little bit of a science program.
So awesome.
They didn't do. I don't think they did food. I'm trying to remember if we ate dinner for that one. They have a restaurant on site,
They
and you
do.
definitely get a full breakfast, like full legit breakfast, like scrambled eggs and bacon and stuff like that.
It's their minimum of people you need. Like seriously, like.
Right, yeah. Could be a filter in there.
But it was sweet. And then they did like a whole behind the scenes tour in the evening, so you got to go and see like most of the time when you're in the aquarium, so you go and you get to walk through the whole thing.
Right.
And then they took you behind the scenes, so then like all these tanks that you're normally just seeing from the front through the glass, and then like the glass goes all the way to the ceiling. Then you go around behind, and then you're like looking into the top, and you see like the dive tanks where, you know, the divers will put on a tank to like swim down and clean stuff or whatever, and you see like how everything relates. So it was neat. Like it was a cool experience. So that was one that we had really good feedback on. So same thing with Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Really good feedback on that one. We do ours in February as kind of like a last send-off for our AOLs, like a last
Right.
cool overnight with the pack before they
Yeah.
cross over. So we've started doing that as like a February thing. So we do our Pinewood Derby and our indoor overnight are both February.
Has anybody, I had done some research on different opportunities. Has anybody ever done the Plains Conservation Center?
We did that one last year. I will say that it was much easier to set up. It's way cheaper. It doesn't have the wow factor. So the wow factor of going to the aquarium or going to the zoo, staying overnight, seeing behind the scenes, going through at night after everybody else is gone, you have the whole place to yourselves. Like that's pretty cool, but you're paying $70 per person for it.
Yeah.
So Plains Conservation Center, it was a lot of fun. Most of the stuff that we did, I feel like you probably could do during the day if you just went and like did a field trip there during the day. We got to dissect owl pellets, which was pretty sweet. We had a good time with that. We went out into like a big prairie dog field and like did a hike in the prairie dog field and like found a bunch of bones, which was pretty sweet.
Nice.
They've got a yurt and a visitor center. We packed a ton of people into those, like, you know, shoulder to shoulder in both of their structures. So that was pretty cool. They did a campfire program, which was pretty great. They had, you know, a lot of our scouts, they did s'mores around the campfire. They did a breakfast for us as well. I don't think we did dinner there. I think we got there after dinner. But they did a great campfire program. Our scouts just got up and sang and did some skits and stuff. And they had a lady there who was like playing a flute, which was pretty cool. Like she was playing a wooden flute, and it was a cool experience. Like they have a great little campfire section. So, like I said, it doesn't have the same wow factor as some of the other ones, but
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. And it is indoors. I think if you go in the warmer months, they've got some teepees out there that you can stay in.
Yeah. That's what it seemed to say, is that you might get to stay in the teepees, or you got to ride a covered wagon. And
Yeah, there was supposed to be a wagon ride in the morning, but it didn't pan out. I can't remember exactly why we didn't get to do the wagon ride. So that's why we ended up doing owl pellets. But that was still really cool. The kids loved that.
get to dissect poop.
right? Like,
That sounds interesting.
Okay.
kids think that stuff is great. Yeah, so it was pretty neat. So that one could work. Like, I mean, any of these, I guess you could do year round. Part of the reason why we started doing the indoor thing is so that we had an overnight that we could do during the winter. So we do an October, like a late September, early October. We do a February, and we do a June, just so we've got like, you know, a handful of overnight events through the year.
Yeah. And I'd also looked, and it seemed to be, it wasn't clear, but there was a possibility you might be able to stay overnight at the Forney Transportation Museum.
I don't know about that one.
Where would they do it? There's so
I
much
don't know.
stuff in there. But that'd be
couldn't,
fascinating. I love that. Yeah.
But I wasn't sure. I thought I had seen something about the possibility of like a sleepover at the Forney Transportation. But I think that's what it was. That because they had let me see, because I was trying to do like all these different
Something that I did, which okay, so Marie, did you get a chance to join this? I have a Discord set up for the district, just for our Cub Scout leaders.
Yeah.
And then I also have the district Google Calendar, which I think most of us are already on, but if you need that one too, you can grab that one.
Okay. Yeah, I have that one.
Okay, perfect. And then this was previous stuff. There's some more.
Hold on, I'm old. I don't have Discord on my phone.
You're good. All right, so I created a spreadsheet of like Cub Scout camping venues.
Oh.
We have like the Goat Book, but the Goat Book I think is geared more towards troops, and so I've been and not all of these are all the way filled out. A lot of this stuff is just like things that I put together for my pack, but I'm gonna try to build out more of it. So if other people have other stuff that they want to add, just let me know. Send me an email or whatever with like the places that you guys went, because I know you had Glacier Valley or something that you
Glacier
mentioned.
View Ranch.
Glacier
Yeah.
View Ranch, yeah, that
Awesome.
you mentioned, which
Way awesome.
now I'm thinking we might take a look at that for one of ours. So I want
I
to
would.
put like all of that stuff in here. Like every time somebody finds a cool spot, like just
Put it in.
put it in so
Yeah.
everybody can keep track, and like we'll have contacts and things like that. Something that that I saw recently that is not an overnight, but I did want to mention, and I think I put it in the Discord, is let's see if I can find where that one is. Hang on, let's see. Was that what it was? Oh, there it is. So Denver Zoo had kind of like shut off all their scout programs last year because they were reworking everything. They have some scout nights. So I think one of them is this Sunday. One of them is Saturday, January 3rd. They have a K through 5, so it's all Cub Scouts. They have Primate Palooza at Zoo Lights.
That's fun.
And it's anytime after 2 p.m. You get to enter, you get to visit more primate pals, and then you get so there's a program that you get to go attend that's like a scout specific program, and then they have zoo lights through 9 p.m. So like if you get signed up, yeah. And it looks like it's $27 for scouts and $32 for adults to, get access to the whole zoo and the zoo lights and a special scout program. So I know I shared that in the Discord, but I would love to. One of the things that I think is really important is for us to continue to partner with orgs around town. So like if they put on a scout event, I think it's cool that we go there. So if they have a scout night, we should be there. If
I actually I did it for my den, but I would love to work with the Wild Animal Sanctuary in Keensburg.
Yeah.
Because I know there are people, because they let us come from our den.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And we did thing, but I would love to work with them to try and do a scout thing for the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
Yeah. I love that
idea. I would think that would be so cool because all the animals and everything, it'd be really neat. But the best time to go is in the spring or the fall when it's not hot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that'd be phenomenal. Yeah, if you do you know anybody out there? Do you have contacts out there?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I'm like founders for like half the things that they do.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
So yeah, I can talk to their some of their people and everything.
Yeah, let's see if we can figure something out.
I think but so my thought too is like if there's, and maybe I was just like sitting there thinking like, oh, the Forney transportation would be a good overnight place. I don't know. I swear in my head I was thinking like, or maybe I was thinking Wings Over the Rockies or something.
yeah,
like,
maybe.
Wings over there, that would be cool.
So I was like in my head like, well, why don't we just ask if we can have an overnight in these places?
That's the one in Pueblo, right? Wings Over the Rockies?
No,
this is in Denver.
There's
couple of
two. Yeah, there's one in
Yeah.
Centennial and there's one in Denver. The one in
Okay.
Denver is wicked impressive.
There is
I had my senior prom there.
Nice.
there is a
That's
gentleman
awesome.
that actually is a scouting volunteer that works for an airplane museum that will do scout overnights.
Okay.
So
And that's in the Springs, or
I believe it's in Pueblo.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
but
yeah. Sorry.
yeah, but it does have an option there, so I can reach out to him and get information on that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he was my patch guy.
But my feeling is, why not ask? The worst they could do is say no.
So, and we did that a couple of years back. Actually, Clay, when his daughter was in my pack, I kind of set him loose on it to reach out to a bunch of different places and just like call around and start figuring out like who had indoor overnight programs. A lot of places don't, but part of it too is they may not because hardly anybody asks or because they shut them down for COVID and they haven't brought them back yet. But if we call them and say, hey, we'd be interested, and then we reach out to them about it, they may bring them back.
Yeah. Or just say, like, if you do this, there's a potential for a big revenue stream.
Right? Yeah, there's
Sure.
a bunch
For
of
your
bunch of scouts
organization.
who would come.
Because once the word gets out, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts,
Right.
all those things.
So there's a few others too, a few other places that we talked with. I don't think they're doing overnights right now. The Children's Museum, I don't think they have overnights. I haven't talked to them in a couple of years though, so that might be worth reaching out. Butterfly Pavilion, I think similar thing. Wild Animal Sanctuary, now that they have that giant visitor
The
center
only
that they
problem
built.
with that, and I actually thought about that because I was thinking, they don't have it heated. And
The big Quonset
yeah.
hut structure.
So the only thing is you'd have to do it in a time that it would be, like we were camping in a regular thing. Because I've been there when it's been in the 20s, and it is colder in that place than it is outside.
Fair enough.
So we would only be able to do an overnight in the summer times.
Okay, fair enough.
So
I mean, and that's still cool. Like, I typically think of like if the weather's good, then you would just go to, go to the forest somewhere and set up tents. But like going to the Wild Animal Sanctuary for a
they
packed
have
camp out
this
is still
whole-
awesome. So
this
even
whole
in
upper
summertime,
area where they have all the tables and stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
they do banquets, and they have like a summer night concert series and
Okay.
things that they do. I mean, the main thing to do would probably be to talk to Pat because he's like the executive director and ask him. But because we'd also have to just, they've never done something like that.
yeah,
Especially having people stay there, and especially with the animals and everything, and being really polite. So you'd be like, no, we're not going to run around and scare the animals. And,
yeah, exactly.
and all that good stuff. But Yeah, I mean, I think, maybe starting with the Scout Day and showing that all of our kids would be very, very polite, and then maybe going to a possibility of an overnight.
I like that idea. I think doing a Scout Day out there would be sweet. Dinosaur Ridge used to do Scout Days. I think they still do Girl Scout Days, but they've stopped doing like Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA.
Yeah.
I would love to get that back because we went a couple of years and had a phenomenal time. I think it would probably have to be a council level coordination because I've tried to reach out to them. I don't know what it would take to get them to bring it back, like how many scouts we would need to provide, like if we can guarantee 200 scouts or something, like whatever that number is. If that's what it would take, then I feel like that would be worth doing because the way that they used to run it is so cool. And I think if we could help with some of that stuff, some of those similar kinds of like ideas, the way that they ran it was you would tell them, okay, I'm bringing a tiger and webelos, and they would give you a packet when you got there that would have a worksheet that said, all right, if you're a tiger, while you're here today, you can work on these 2 adventures and check off all these requirements for it. And they would just give you a worksheet and they would tell you on it, here's where you go to find this stuff. And so I think that's one of those things where, and I've started creating that for Denver Museum of Nature and Science, where for the new program, each rank has an adventure that you can complete at DMNS. There's a couple of them where it's a little easier if you have to bring some stuff with you and just like, I think the wolves have the digging in the past adventure. And part of that is you have to make like a pudding layer thing. So you have to bring that stuff with you, but they've got places to eat. And we did that. And we just like the kids were in there in the museum and they just like sprinkled cookies and pudding and stuff and they made their little layers and they had a great time. It just, it adds a little bit of complexity to it. But that sort of a thing. So I've started making documents for all of our ranks where it's just a worksheet that says, go to the 3rd floor, find this thing, and then it, has all the requirements written out. So I don't know if we've got anybody at the district level or council level who has that kind of bandwidth to be able to do that for the zoo or the children's museum or the butterfly pavilion or the wild animal sanctuary or whatever else. Yeah. But like that would be cool if you could then have a resource at the council level that says, hey, take your pack to a field trip here. Here's a packets that they can, you guys can do a field trip for your whole pack. Every den can complete an adventure while they're there. Like that would be sweet. So that's
for
sure. You know what we could do? I mean, theoretically, we could do what teachers do, where they have like listservs and things where people basically pool their lesson plans and stuff. Because for bearers, and I'm going to partner with, because I just happen to know Sarah Amanda really well, and so I was like, I thought this was so cool, I was going to share it with her. The head of the Denver Crime Lab, I met him, and he's a former Cub Scout.
Oh, awesome.
So we're going to do the forensics bear elective.
Awesome.
With the Denver Crime Lab.
That's amazing.
That's fun.
And
That's why I love Scouts. Like, I find all these cool things out.
so, but I mean, I don't know if he would, like, I don't know how much he's going to feel like every bear den is going to start contacting him. But I mean, like, I do think that there's like just really cool things, that people find. And then like this critter care, we did, on Tuesday, we went to the Humane Society.
Nice.
For an animal shelter. And so like they were very, eager to give tours, and it was completely free.
Yeah.
So I think, there's other people who are probably doing really cool things, like the museum and such. And so it's just a matter of reaching out and saying, hey, what are you doing for your electives, your requirements, and can you just, write it up and
Yeah.
share it?
Well,
Yeah.
so I just made myself a note to make, so what I'll do on the district Google Drive is I'll start a spreadsheet for field trip resources. And so I'll say like what the field trip is, maybe who it would be good for, if it's a pack thing or a den thing, and if it's a den thing, which den, like if there's a specific adventure that somebody would work on. And maybe contact info linked to the website where you'd find that stuff or whatever. Because like my Webelos in Parker, just our town hall has a scout specific meet the mayor form that you fill out to tell them my pack wants to come meet the mayor. And like they've got a scout specific program for that. So like we just did that the other day. Went to town hall, met the mayor, and it was really cool. But like there's probably stuff like that out there that
We
a
just
lot of
don't
units
know.
just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not being afraid to make the phone call, right?
Right.
Like, when we just did my community, we had Sheriff Darren Weekly come talk, to our kids, and he was phenomenal. But it was almost like that they were surprised to hear from us, and
Right.
Yeah.
he shows up and brings all this stuff and had an amazing speech. Kids loved it.
Yeah.
It just
Fire departments love to come in too. Like,
Yes, they do.
I've had
Yep.
have fire
And
departments.
it turns out we took your advice and contacted the South Suburban.
Yeah.
I got the head of the special programs resources. You can get 2 nature people to come to the church
Yeah.
and do a 1-hour custom program for you
Yeah.
for $117.
That's awesome.
whoa, that's like
Yeah.
nothing.
And they brought snakes and spiders and salamander
Who's your
and
contact
everything.
for that?
Yeah, I will.
Or just South Suburban?
South Suburban Parks
No,
and Rec.
I
And was it it wasn't the nature van? Like they've got that.
no,
they've
it
got
wasn't
the
a nature
van.
van. We had 2 people. The head of the nature program. Let me. I'll give you his information. But we have one of our den leaders work with him, and they said that they will come and do a custom program with the second 2 naturists, and they'll even do it at a park or at your
Yeah, that's
with your
fantastic.
venue.
'Cause we do animal awareness in March, so that would be.
Yeah, and
That'd be
then
great.
and
I'm
they
out at snakes. Sorry guys, I can't.
So we had last year when we did it.
let me see. It was
They had a 15-foot ball python. The thing was absolutely ridiculous.
The Nature and Science Museum had a snake exhibit once, and they
Yeah,
had
yeah,
this huge
yeah.
boa constrictor. And my daughter Allison just smacked right into the glass. She's like just looking at this thing and didn't realize there was glass there. She was probably about like 7. I was like, should I not laugh? Should I not laugh?
So something that's really cool with South Suburban, the South Platte Park and Carson Nature Center. You can do field trips there. They'll do, like, if you call them in advance, they'll have a naturalist there for you. It's a little bit of a drive for us in Parker, but we've had a den go out and do that. They've got the flood table
Oh
where
yeah.
the kids can, learn about erosion, and they
Yeah.
set up all the stuff. So they do the flood table. They've got the skulls and skins, I think is what they call it, where they've got skulls of different, native creatures and skins so the kids can touch it. They've got tanks with, fish and turtles and all scorpions and like all kinds of stuff in there. And then they've also just got like some cool hiking trails around. So like if you plan a field trip, you can go do that. And I think it's the same lady that I talked to about the van runs that. She was super nice, super helpful when we reached out to her.
So his name is Kevin. He's in charge of the special programs. His number is 720-618-4507. I actually told him that I would be shouting out his name because it was so cool.
Give him a
And-
heads up.
And he said, more than welcome to.
Cool. Very cool.
2 naturalists for an hour, custom program, $117.
That's amazing.
Ridiculous. That is just so
And
crazy.
so he said that they can do all sorts of programs. They can come, if you want to go, they'll come to visit you at a park.
Oh,
If you want to
cool.
meet at a park, or they'll come to your
Right.
venue or whatever.
That's way cool.
And what was his number again?
Oh, sorry.
720-618-4507.
Yeah, and he's in charge of the. So him and this other woman came, and they had we did crawdads.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and then they also had a bull snake, a black widow snake. A black widow spider, a salamander. I mean, he brought like 5 or 6 different animals,
That's
and
so
all
cool.
the kids did that stuff for Halloween.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome. I'm gonna pop back over to
Yeah, no
Scouts
worries.
BSA because I'm trying to meet everybody.
the best part was
Amazing.
the price,
Yeah.
and because
Thank you.
the kids were all excited, but you can't beat the price.
Wow.
No, I mean, that's crazy.
We had Quest come in. They did an hour-long program, and it was phenomenal. It was $400.
Yeah.
And I think when we had Party Safari, again, did a great job. But it's it was a few $100. So yeah, having them, being I don't know,
Yeah,
semi-governmental organization or something, they probably get like they can subsidize a little. They're not
Yeah.
trying to make a living off those
Yeah.
dues.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and especially in Highlands Ranch area, I know we were like right on the edge of where they would take their van. But I don't know if that's just the van or if it's like anything else, or if we would have been willing to like meet them at a park halfway between or something.
yeah. He did say something about like if we had been a little farther out, he might have had to because there was like because of the
Yeah.
the time it would have taken them to drive.
Yeah.
But like we were just like practically like 10 minutes from their office. So
Yeah, that's
I don't know
cool.
if he would charge you a little extra like driving fee or something, but it still
Sure.
might be worth it. I'm sure they wouldn't like
Right.
charge you that
Right.
much compared.
Yeah.
I mean,
Castle Rock's not that far.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
right down the highway.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Nice.
Yeah. But see, that's why I think like, having something that everybody can, exactly what you're doing is sharing all these resources.
Yeah, because like the
Unless
more
you sit around and talk about it with people, you
Well,
never
that's-
know.
that's the benefit of this is that this is where that stuff happens.
Well, I just text my secretary. I was like, "We're behind the ball in the camping. We gotta up our game here because we do one camp in a year and it's the same one every year. It's just we do movie and popcorn and all these things and Santa comes and we do gift exchange but that's our camping.
Yeah.
We need to do that and this.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
Actually, and sorry, just for one thing in the camping before I forget. This year and the previous years for the 5 metrics in Mud Scouting, for the commissioner tools, the camping part only counted for like a council held camping trip like adventure camp or the jamboree or day camp. But now for 2026, we're going to do it if your unit goes to the zoo or goes overnight to a park. We're going to count that as well for the commissioner tools and 5 metrics for camping. So it's
That's
not
good to know.
just the council held campouts.
Okay,
That was
sweet.
kind of an issue and a complaint across the board with these. Like we have a lot of units doing their own things, but may not necessarily come to the council held campouts or day camp.
Well, and speaking of council, like you can do overnights at CAP.
yeah, we just did that. That's a blast.
We haven't done that
So much
as a pack. We've done it once as a troop, and I think we're doing it again as a troop next weekend. I think actually.
We did that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're actually we scheduled a on the 24th. We're going to do a we've booked the cap out for all day for kids to get their BB and
Oh,
archery.
Our Bears just did that too.
Yeah,
We're doing that in January. We just organized a day, a 3-hour visit thing to go up there and do that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a good resource as well. So we just need to keep finding stuff and
Right.
like reaching out to places
But,
because
yeah,
there's more
no,
places that'll do that.
I have no shame, you know, so I will call people up, you know, and well, I'm also all about getting stuff for free.
Yeah.
Because when I came in and found out people were paying for firewood, I was like, oh my God, we're paying for firewood? You go on Craigslist, you know, and people give you firewood.
That's
you know?
a great idea.
I mean, everybody's like giving away free firewood. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for firewood. You know, so I have no problems calling up. I'll be willing to call up all
Nice.
these places and be like, hi.
Right.
What's the
Like-
worst they're gonna say is no.
You know,
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, like Wings Over the Rocket, sure. Like I would love to, you know.
That's a thing.
So if you have a list, I have no problems calling up these people.
Yeah.
If you want, I'm more than willing to do that.
I don't know if do I have your email?
Possibly. I know I'm on the Discord thing.
Okay, yes, I can reach out to you via Discord because what I would love to
Yeah.
do is figure out like, let's just put together a list of like every venue that we can think of that
Yeah.
sounds kind of cool that like maybe would let us do an overnight, and we just
Yeah.
call them, and then maybe we convince our friends to call them, and then we like just
Yeah.
make sure that they get like maybe 12 calls about Cub Scout overnights
Yeah, or I
within
mean,
a period of a few
I
months,
also
and then
find
they're
those
like,
in person, and I would just be like, I'll just go talk to the manager and be like, hey, and then. you know.
nice.
The one that I do want to reach out to, and I'm going to write it down so I don't forget, is Old Bent's Fort, because it's not that far.
Yeah, my son's troop has done
Have
camp
they?
outs there.
Talking
Yeah.
about
Okay.
at La Junta, right?
Yeah, so it's not terribly far.
Even Fort Lupton, I think you can stay there. They did a. I wasn't able to go, but they did a.
It's rough.
Is it rough?
The only reason it's rough is, so we were originally scheduled for Fort Lupton for our June camp out.
Okay.
But because of the proximity to the South Platte and the Front Range, it was overridden with ticks.
Oh.
That's how because that's where I did my Baloo.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, okay, this would be cool. This would be cool for, a
Yeah.
June camp out. And then that's why we ended up finding Glacier View Ranch and saving
How
my
do you-
bacon.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt. How do you get the rules about with your Cub Scouts about being like a site that's
Scout
approved
approved.
and also like close to hospitals and all that other
all
good
the
stuff?
so I can't tell you exactly where it is. I'd have to go on. It's on Scouting America's website. You can find it. Just Google it, but then there'll be a contact that you have to reach out to, and you'll send the information, the contact information of the camp that you want to go to, and they have to go through the approval process.
So I did that a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
It may not have been. I don't know. I mean, it was what our DE at the time told me to do.
Mhm.
But there was basically a form,
Yeah.
and I just filled out the form and sent it to him.
Did you ever hear anything?
Yeah, he said it was fine.
Did you? Oh, I never heard a word.
Yeah.
I sent it in,
Yeah.
and it had everything. I mean, it was to a T, so I was like, I'm not worried about it. But,
Yeah, we were great, and we've now camped that same place like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because it's a piece of property that belongs to one of our families.
Right.
But Asher, is that something you'd be able to do if we like found another spot that we need to get approved? Could we just like find that form and fill it out and send it to you?
Yeah, I can send it to the right person.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
If you guys
we
do
would
that.
have to get
Okay.
like the Forney transportation and Wings
Yeah.
of the Rockies and all that other stuff
Yeah.
approved, right?
Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah, I don't
there's
know if I can approve it. I don't think I can, but I'll send it to Mike or Albert or something.
and there are different rules about camping versus lodging.
Right.
So I think campsites have to be specially approved because like they're asking you, is there running water? Is there
Yeah.
like all this other stuff?
All the basic like facilities. And
You
Yeah,
have
but
to have
like-
access to restrooms.
But that's
Yeah.
that's for a
Indoor
campsite.
area.
That
Right.
wouldn't necessarily be for lodging, which is
right.
in a building. So
Yeah.
we may not need it for those. That would be another good question for our DE here.
Yeah, I have to double check on that for the lodging.
Okay.
So, because that's the other thing too, is there's other rules about like if you're camping, you've got to have, like there's rules about like only families can camp together, but if you're lodging, then like as long as you've got separate restrooms and you've like hang curtains or whatever for dressing areas and various things, like there's all kinds of rules about lodging specifically, and all the indoor stuff would count as that.
Because what I also think would be totally cool, and since our partners, they give scout nights and all that other stuff. I think it would be totally cool to sleep on the field of the Rockies
I was
field.
just thinking that. Right? How amazing would that be?
That's cool.
So
Because you get
wicked.
to sleep on the field of the Rockies field overnight.
Right.
Is
I
that
mean,
a
it'd
thing
have to
that they
be in a
do?
separate. No, I mean, we just have to ask.
We'd have to ask. So actually,
That'd be
somebody
cool.
was telling me about.
I mean,
I'm
That might be.
I'm gonna be way too much again. Hang on, you guys. So I'm trying to remember who it was. Somebody was telling me that they did a fundraiser where they did a softball tournament for, I think it was the whole district or the whole council, where they had like a park that had a whole series of ball fields. And they did a fundraiser where all these different units would field a team of kids and adults or whatever. They would all have this big softball tournament all day, and then they camped on the fields at night.
That'd be awesome.
Like on the.
That'd be really
Rockies.
cool.
I
Just
so
anywhere.
For this one,
we
wouldn't even have to
can-
be the Rockies field. It could just be like,
A collection of softball fields.
Salisbury Park in Parker, or right up near the BMX track. They've got all those big, ball fields. Like could be soccer fields, could be whatever. But like,
Right.
Well, I'm
just
wondering if
find
even
that.
if you could do just your local high school, like reaching out to Douglas County High School and say, "Hey, we'd like to have a camp out. Can we use your football field?
Right.
You do your sports, you play some football, whatever." Maybe that reaching out to.
yeah, I like that idea. I think that could be really cool.
Definitely.
But I mean, how cool would it be to be on the?
Oh, that'd be
I'm a big baseball fan, so
Nice.
the idea of like sleeping under the stars of the
Yeah, with the stadium around you.
yeah, that would be super cool.
I like it.
with the
Well, let us know what they
faint
say,
sound
because
of
that sounds awesome.
sirens in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I can ask someone at council and see if they have any a direct connection there to
Right.
ask.
Yeah, because I feel like you could potentially get into a web of connections trying to find the right person. So,
Right.
But that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a good
Well,
idea like that.
Don't we have? I mean, that's the thing is like we've got some folks on the board
Yeah.
who are
Right.
tied in there, so
Sure.
like
Right.
gotta leverage the the high rollers. Like they know people who know people or whatever, and be like, hey, we want to do this awesome thing as a council council deal.
Definitely.
Yeah.
See what they can do. That'd be sweet.
Get a little
Yeah.
discount on it.
Yeah.
Even we were just talking about the sports dinner. That'd be a good time to leverage that conversation,
Right.
even for doing it at Empower Field
I mean, before it's gone, right?
before they move.
Right.
Oh, are they moving? I thought they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're building a new one, but
Renovating.
I think it's like 6 years.
Yeah, and it's
It's a
gonna be
lot. It's a big process.
Huh.
But that would be the time to say, hey, you guys are going to be going anyway, so why don't we get to sleep out on the field?
Yeah.
I wonder, could we reach out to the Broncos? Their practice facility is like 5 minutes from my house,
I'll reach out to him. I have no shame.
right?
Yeah.
And just see if
the
we can
practices.
say, hey, our scouts are interested. We heard Garrett Bowles is an Eagle Scout. Can we come
Yeah.
visit?
Right.
That would be to leverage that. I mean, they do a lot of community,
Yeah.
volunteer stuff. Like my girlfriend, she's a teacher in Aurora,
Nice.
and yeah, they a group of them came. They're doing some program. And they built the playground
Oh,
at our
fantastic.
school and some other schools.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
they do a bunch of volunteer work and whatnot,
Absolutely.
So. And he's speaking at sports breakfast too. So it's
Yeah.
it's perfect.
I love it.
I think.
Nice.
But I don't see why you couldn't, especially when if the field is going to be done right before the whatever they turn it over to the city, that you couldn't have one big sleepover.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and
Or
they-
even do it at
Yeah.
Dove Valley. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
I mean,
again,
so the other thing is too,
Yeah.
for those fields, like for the pro fields, they replace that turf Like at least for Empower, they replace that turf multiple times a year, so it's not like they'd be super worried about a couple of tent stakes or something.
Sure, and even you could even potentially work around that, because I guarantee they know when they're going to do it. It's already pre-booked. So like I said, before you do this, can we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet.
Or maybe
I'll
just
make it
like
happen.
no
How's
stakes.
he gonna make this happen?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, if you made it like a council-wide event, like you could get a lot of tents on that field. That would be- and they've already got bathrooms for 70,000, so like
Not a problem.
Yes.
You need like a cool like aerial drone shot of it.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Oh, jeez.
Or
that'd be
like a
stoked.
logo or
Heck
something.
yeah. All right, I love it.
And, I'm sure you would get some kind of, TV news.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the fact that, the scouts are sleeping on the field.
Yeah. So honestly, if we do any of this stuff, like if you guys ever have a really cool event going on that that you think could potentially be newsworthy, there was a reporter from CBS who heard about our tree, like our Christmas tree hauling thing last year, and came and like rode in my truck and interviewed me and my kids, and it was on the evening news.
I remember that. I
Yeah.
do remember that. Yeah.
And she said if we ever have anything else that's like cool and newsworthy that would like, be interesting to the people, like reach out to her. So I've still got her info. So
Any email I send to whoever it is, I'll attach you on it.
Yeah, that'd be
For that
Oh,
2D.
I was
attach
going to
Marie on
ask
it,
you,
too.
definitely.
since you put me
That
on
would be
to
awesome.
the Fort Logan thing,
yeah.
are you guys
I'll
doing
reach out
anything
to
with the
both Rocky.
tubs
I'll try to
to
reach
check
out to
the
both
flags?
Rockies. Yeah, and the Broncos.
We have not done that
That'd
before.
be insane.
I know they're always asking for help with that.
Yeah.
It's just like
We've never done that, but-
Because
Yeah.
so the dens always have to do service project.
Yeah.
So I kind of reached out and I talked to my den, and so we were thinking of doing that as our service
I
project.
love that idea. That's
so-
fantastic.
Speaking of really cool projects that might be newsworthy, that would be something that,
Yeah.
if we did like a nice big pack service or big project
Yeah.
where we got a whole bunch of tubs and everybody came at the church and
Yeah.
checked flags.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Especially because I'm sure they need people to check the flags.
Yeah, they always do because there's always a bunch of them that are broken when we
Yeah.
put them back.
If we picked a day,
Yeah, let me know.
we'd have to, I don't know if St. Luke's, we could probably pick a day. I'll look and I'll find out. See, flags. And then, is February really booked with the district?
No.
I guess I probably need to look at the
Could
district.
check the district calendar.
Pull it right up.
But yeah, I was just thinking that maybe that would be a cool thing,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't like to ask for 40 tubs and then not be able
Not
to
have enough to be
deliver.
able to handle it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta think about some. This is cool. This is like we're all leaving with a bunch of homework.
Oh
This-
yeah,
this sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
I absolutely love it too.
But I mean, do you think other packs would be willing to come? And
Absolutely. So that's
Yeah,
something
I'll
that
put
I've
it
been
out there.
trying to
I'll put it to
promote
mine.
for the past couple of years is getting even more scouts back out to Fort Logan for that. So I don't think I did as much last year, but the year before, I really pushed it to try to get on all the newsletters that are going out from council and everything else, just so everybody knows that that's available and that we want to have units out there. So that would be a good thing to do because I still I'm section leader for a couple of sections for it. And we always have a pretty good number of people, but I know there's a ton of other sections that always need help too. Cause usually what ends up happening is somebody, once they volunteer, they kind of go to the same spot and they end up like meeting other people from other organizations. So like we used to have like a Camaro club that like would join us every year.
interesting. Okay.
So it's like the same groups go to the same sections every year, but like sometimes they'll fall off. But like there's Sons of the American Revolution that meets there, and like there's a couple of people that I've been doing that for 7 years now. So like there's a couple of folks who are there that I see every year, you know, for the placements and then, you know, for the pickup.
Okay.
And so like if we can start getting more scout units interested, they could probably start to fill in and then meet other organizations and other stuff like that. And it's just a cool thing to do. So
Okay. Well,
I love roots in the community, man. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all
you
about.
have to. You absolutely have to.
Okay. Well, let me find out
Yeah, I
from
like.
St. Luke's about, because I think there would be definite room in the
Oh,
fellowship
yeah.
hall
Yeah.
to do some tubs, and I'll see what days they have. Probably like a Saturday, I think, is probably better.
That makes sense. Nice.
Yeah, because Sunday would probably be busy. Okay,
Yeah.
I can take that on to. Okay, alrighty,
All right.
Cool. I'm
and
stoked.
then
Yeah.
we'll
I'm jazzed.
report back
This is
to.
sweet, man.
Yeah, it turned out really successful.
Yeah.
It just wasn't about talking about scouts.
We talked about some overnight stuff. We talked
Yeah.
about some field trip stuff. We
Great.
like all kinds of things. So
Well, we're
Um,
gonna create more overnight venues, so technically that's
still good,
that's
yeah.
progress.
It is.
So something that we can do certainly is it's real easy for me to start a new channel in the Discord. So if
Okay.
we want to have a place to discuss this stuff and share resources and all that jazz, just so that it's all kind of centrally located. And then as we find more people in the district who are like, oh, hey, we went to this place, we're like, join the Discord. Like,
That's not a
share
bad
your
idea.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Because then, like, so the way that we run my Discord for my pack is that we've got committees. So every committee has
Right.
a channel.
Right.
And so if we have, like, interest in this other stuff, there's no, channels are free. So, like, you can just
Yeah.
make a channel for it and then, keep our discussion there. And then the nice thing is if you share links or, you post people's phone numbers or whatever, it all retains. So then we end up building some of that institutional memory. So then, like,
Yeah.
Right.
after all of our kids cross over into troops and there's a whole new batch of Cub leaders out there,
Right.
they can still be in there and still have access to all that
Yeah.
same info.
Right.
So, nice.
Cool.
All right.
How about it?
I love it. All right, we can shut this thing off, call it a day.
Well, I hope you guys have an amazing holiday. Hope
Yeah,
guys have an
thank you so
amazing
much.
Christmas. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys